Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and here I am delighted to be doing an instant reaction quick unboxing of Studio Series 8607 Dinobot Slug. Well, actually his name is Slag, and for lots of reasons you've probably read about or heard about elsewhere on the internet or other places. We're not going to go into the reasons why it was felt appropriate to change his name. Actually, Slug sounds a lot worse to me than Slag, which was his original name, based on the fact that he is a flamethrower by job description, and therefore converts things into molten slag. So to me, the word slag is perfectly appropriate as the name of this particular Dinobot. In addition, he also comes complete with a little sort of figure of Daniel Witwicky, here devoid of any additional detail or meaningful representation. However, much like his predecessor, Studio Series 86 Grimlock, who came with a version of Wheelie, this seems to be the standard practice of including with the leader class Dinobot range as part of this particular turnout of figures, a small additional figure that can ride atop the Dinobots. More on that in the fullness of time. For now, I'm just going to do a quick pan down so you can see the box. I have, as you may well know, already done a pre-unboxing video just to look at and give initial reactions when this wave of figures arrived in hand. So if you haven't checked that video out yet, by all means do. Today I'm literally going to be unboxing Slag. I will be calling him probably those two names interchangeably. One because it's in my head that I don't want to use it, and the other because that's what, as far as I'm concerned, is his right name. So apologies, not apologies, as we go through. But I am clearly talking about Dinobot Slug, Slag, whatever you want to call him, Dave, and the Daniel Witwicky component unit. Once again, I've gone through the box when I was doing the pre-unboxing video. He's huge. He's an absolutely huge, well, Dinobot. The artwork on the box, absolutely tremendous. There he is in his Triceratops mode. There's Daniel riding on the back of Slag, and you'll see there, you can actually see it's Daniel. Unlike here, where it just looks like somebody stuck a boiled egg on top of a suit and hoped for the best. But yeah, there he goes. Fantastic. Transformers the movie, words, pictures, window. Again, huge window. Something the Commander class figures from the War for Cybertron seem to have solved by not having a window at all. And again, the product shots at the back. And the display, which we shall see momentarily, Triceratops mode, and Dinobot Slug Slag in all of his glory. Yes, indeed, I have already broken the seal, so it's easier for me to go straight in. I have not, however, taken him out of the box yet, so this is a first for me. Yep, he's quite a weighty piece. You can see he's all strapped in, as is Daniel. There's his blaster. Yeah, he is a big old bot, quite right too. Lovely face detailing, lovely panel detailing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, sorry Daniel, can't really say the same about you. Just going to pop this out of the way for now as we come back to the packaging, purely because I want to rescue in the first instance, as with all Studio 86 figures thus far, there is the here it comes. The included diorama doesn't want to come out, why not? And the instructions, we'll pop that there. Get rid of the box because the only thing left in there is that useful little leaflet that reminds me not to eat any of the components, which would of course be quite dangerous. So please do not eat any of your plastic component parts when operating a Dinobot. Here is the diorama for Slag. It's the junkyard, sorry, it's the Quintesson pit of Judgment, or just outside, where Slug breaks in along with the other Dinobots to rescue Cup, Hot Rod, etc. So let's come back to the main event. Here he is. It's Dinobot Slug, Slag, and Daniel. At the moment they're still quite heftily tied in, but my initial reactions on this are, this is a fantastic figure, much as Grimlock was before him. Beautiful panel detailing, beautiful details to that face, and the metallic paint on the eyes really giving us some shine. And Daniel has no discernible features. As I say, he looks a little bit like a boiled egg shoved into on top of a complicated egg cup. There is some nice detailing on the legs, if I'm going to be generous, and he has got little tiny fists that may be able to hold something. I'm not sure what. I think it's a shame. I think the idea is nice, so I'm very grateful for the idea. I think it's a missed opportunity. And I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere will come up with some repro labels, or Toy Hacks, for example, will come up with something to jazz him up a little bit, even if it is something to go on the dome. But then maybe I'm being overly optimistic. Maybe it is as unsalvageable as I fear it may be. Anyway, you know the drill for these videos, I'm sure by now. I'm going to pause temporarily whilst I release Slag and Daniel from their constraints, and then I shall pose them and we shall have another little chat about my initial reactions to this figure. I won't be transforming him. I'll do that as part of a bigger review in the near future. This is purely my initial reactions. So don't move, don't change that dial. I shall be right back with my thoughts and a released Slag. And as if by magic, he's all ready to go. So here we have, out of the packaging, Dinobot Slag, complete with the irrepressible Daniel Witwicky posed here on his shoulder for no discernible reason other than it seems to be what he's born to do. And I'm loving, which I hadn't noticed before, his kind of Aberesque high-heeled boots that he's got there. I'm not loving the interior of his legs. Both legs and arms are the same. So here he is, he's in this exosuit, but unfortunately the exosuit doesn't really look, there's someone inside it. It just looks like there's lots of bits hanging off. So just do a bit of a slow pan down. This figure, I can't tell you, I absolutely love it already. There's so much going on in its favour. Let's just speed that pan up so I wouldn't want to pick him up and show him off to you. So here he is against the diorama. As I mentioned before, I'm not going to particularly transform him at this juncture. I just want to really have a little look and get a sense of what he's like. Bit of a struggle to get the gun in the first time around. I'm assuming it's because it's virgin territory, and it took a bit of force. There's not a huge amount of clearance, so you can see that there, to get the gun into the fist, considering the close proximity of the fist to the forearm, but it was doable. Daniel sort of clicks in. There's a little tab for Daniel on his shoulder there. There is one on this side as well. A little bit alarming. I will tell you this just in case it happens to you. As I took the figure out of the packaging, one of his Triceratops horns from round the back had come loose and was left behind in the plastic packaging, which gave me some palpitations to start with. But very quickly and very easily reattached, so it's not the problem that my heart rate suddenly tried to tell me it was going to be. Taking a look at the colorization of this figure, there's some beautiful paneling, and yeah, we're very much in Dinobot animation worlds here. Yes, the panel detailing is there's almost more panel detailing here than there would be in the actual animation of the movie, but I'm not criticizing that at all. I think that's a fantastic touch, and again something we've seen throughout the Studio 86 range, whereby they've gone all out to give us some very well detailed panel work on these figures to demonstrate the mechanization and the mechanics available. as part of the Transformers legacy dating back to our Generation 1 predecessors. There's a bit of a backpack going on here, much like the very first variation of Slag, but you know, it is what it is, and that's the Dinobots for you. He has got some visible head Triceratops action going on there with his very prominent facial features, but again, depending how you pose him and how you position him and what kind of action you get into with him, that isn't really going to be too much of a problem, and was again very much true of the first generation version of Dinobot Slag. I've nothing really to add about the Daniel figure. It's a cute little complimentary figure, I guess, much like Wheelie was with Grimlock, but I don't know. I'll be fascinated to see what they give us alongside the future Dinobot releases as well, to be honest. I'd like to see what happens there. This really jumps out at me, though, as a wonderful, wonderful figure. I know it's a leader class figure, so we do expect them to be larger and a bit more imposing, but goodness me, large and imposing really doesn't do it justice. In fact, so much so, I'm just going to reach over and bring into shot here. I hope I can do this without causing mayhem. Here is good old Generation 1 Slag. Some of you may have seen my Robo Reflections video on Generation 1 Slag. Again, beautifully detailed for the time, but in terms of scale, even if I just open his mouth up, we can get a comparison of his face. There we are, Generation 1 Slag with all of his associated headgear. So goodness me, combined with Generation Studio Series 86 Slag. It's a world apart. This is a huge figure that towers above the majority of other Transformers, other than of course possibly Commander class, possibly definitely Titan class. I'm really enamored with the detailing. I'm even beginning to accept Daniel, because he's clearly engaged some sort of defense protocol which has misted up his helmet to protect him from, I don't know. I'm just doing the best I can with what I have, so bear with me on that one. But I love it. I can't wait to get my hands on him and on the instructions so I don't break anything. Run through his transformation a few times, get to see what his strengths and weaknesses are. I'm really loving the detailing. I know I'm spending a lot of time mentioning that, but I really do. And I love the way these wings, this might not even be the final configuration. As I said, this is straight out of the box, so there may be some adjustments for me to make, which is fine. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments very kindly if I've gone straight to showing them off without any post box adjustments to his stance. But I'm super excited to see what he can do in as we transform him. I'm also super excited to have him up against Studio Series 86 Grimlock, so I can start to unite that Dinobot family and possibly have that Dinobot family meet the Generation 1 Dinobot family. That is certainly something I hope that will come in the future, and I'm very excited for the prospects. Yeah, that's all pretty much I can give you right now for this guy. I'm going to take him away. I'm going to do some work with the instructions, with the actual transformation of him. So far, I've seen all of his points of articulation are pretty much what you'd expect them to be. I've got no notable areas of weakness and no notable overt stiffnesses. I mentioned the issue with getting the gun into the fist. Once I got it in, it was fine, but it did take quite a lot of effort. He was quite resistant to that, so maybe he's left-handed. I'll check that out. That didn't occur to me until just now. So I'm going to leave you with this lingering shot of Daniel sitting atop Slag's shoulder, as I don't recall he ever did in the film, but I might be misremembering. If this video has helped you decide on whether or not you want to or need to acquire Dinobot Slug / Slag to add to your collection, then I'm very happy for you, and please do give me a nice big thumbs up down below and let me know in the comments. Similarly, whilst you're there, there's no harm in subscribing, because if you want to see my full review of Slag, once I've worked on the transformations and I can give you the highs and the lows, then hit that subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you never miss an opportunity to see a future video. Similarly, if there's anything you'd like me to talk about or review or look at or consider, tell me about that in the comments as well, and I will read each and every one of them and see what I can do. In the meantime, this is the Time Travelling Toy Collector signing out, encouraging you to go and see pictures of toy photography that I have over on my Instagram account at Time Travelling Toy Collector, and in the meantime, telling you to remember that a thing of beauty is a toy forever. Yep. Even this weird little Daniel boiled egg thing, even that is a thing of beauty. There it is. See, told you. Okay, take care until the next time. Time Travelling Toy Collector checking out.